So yesterday, another prospect from India who was named Sai Kumar, who had made a good name in MMA scene in India, had a good MMA record in India, and is who was from Chennai, India, got his debut fight got his chance to fight in UFC against Louis Scott, who is also a good fighter, and he lost horribly on third round, and he lost with a TKO. So we are seeing the same pattern of fighters from this region, India, Bangladesh, even some fighters from Pakistan as well, going to fight in international organization, then losing horribly. And not like they are amateurs, most of them has a good fighting record. Some of them were never defeated when they fought in the regional scene. Some of them has 7-0, 9-0, 10-0 record. Then they goes to UFC or other international organization. Then they lose horribly. Why is that? Why is that? Why this is happening every time? And what is the core issue behind it? Some racist, some people might say this is because of genetics. Fighters from this region are genetically inferior or weaker. However, I do not agree with that, and I will prove you with some points that will change your mind as well if you think similar. First, let's delve into the core reason this is happening. Fighters who fights in regional scene and regional competition often fights with fighters from this regional scene. If I give you an example, most of the fighters in Bangladesh usually fights from another fighter who are also from Bangladesh, and sometimes when they fights in international area, it is either in Pakistan or India. They usually do not fight in other countries, not in any Western countries, not in any countries where the martial art scene is superior. Martial art fighters have advanced skill and superior skill set. There is, and this is, I believe, the core issue behind it. When we are competing on a same level, we are all competing on a same level, we are not actually improving. We are, because we do not know what is our limitation, and we cannot figure out the exact gap in our game. However, if we start to compete in international arena ring, then we will able to figure out our limitation, our gap. But what happens? Most of the fighters who fights in regional ring or regional fights usually goes to straight UFC or ONE FC, where competition is far superior from where they are fighting, where they used to fight. Think it is as this way: if we are fighting in regional scene, the competition is here. If we are fighting in international rings like UFC or ONE FC, the competition is here. So what our fighters can do, rather than jumping from this to this, why not fight in this? Fight in international competition where the competition is mid. Fight in competition like PFL. Fight in European MMA organizations. There are lots of European, Middle Eastern, Eastern Asian organizations who are arranging fights, who have not very bad fighters but not great fighters as well, mid-level fighters who who has a good records. And when our fighters starts to compete on these rings, these arenas, they will able to gradually reach the skill set which will help them to reach to this level and this arena. So when they reach gradually into this level, they won't lose because they have seen it all. And let me give you one example. One example we have is from our own country. Cage warrior bantamweight champion Shah Hawk, who is also known as Superman Hawk. He is 40 years old, but he is dominating the Cage Warrior Championship, and he is dominating the UK MMA scene for a long time. And though he is 40 years old, he is beating guys who are half of his age, young, hungry guys in from UK. He is beating all of them. He is Bangladeshi, by the way. So you cannot question about his genes like he is weaker. No, he is not weak. His genes are perfect, his strength is perfect. He just had good training. He just understood how to gradually improve your skill set. He knows, and he had good coaching, good trainers, good competition, and he trained with people who are skilled, that helped him to grow as an MMA fighter. So if the MMA fighters of our country who wants to improve, and don't not only our country, it is the suggestion for Indian MMA fighters as well and Pakistani MMA fighters as well. If you want to improve your skill set and don't want to look like a joke when you go to UFC or ONE FC, you need to fight in competitions that are one or two steps above you. Fight in European MMA rings, fight in Russian competitions, fight in Middle Eastern competition. Get out from your region, get out from your locality. Don't only fight with Bangladeshi, Indian, and Pakistani fighters. Fight with Middle Eastern, Asian, Japanese fighters, Russian fighters. And this is how you develop your skill. When you go to this country, you also get the chance to learn from them, train under their gym, and you will see the competition and you will get the test that yes, we are lacking in this area, so I need to improve in this area. But if you stay in your home, if you stay in your own local gym, and you will start thinking that oh my god, I am the best guy in the world, because you have been beating people who have no knowledge in MMA or have little knowledge in MMA, who are just regular guys. You are fighting cans, you are fighting truck drivers, office going guys, so it won't help you much. So in order to improve your skill set, start applying my suggestion and recommendation. I really hope you will able to improve in future.